200 guests watch in shock as Billionaire's bride humbles Maid. Her true identity is unexpected. Jennifer's heart raced as she stood at the grand entrance of the lavish wedding venue, an ornate estate surrounded by lush gardens and twinkling lights. For a moment, she felt swallowed by the glitz of it all. 2 jobs, endless shifts, and the weight of her family's struggles faded beneath the dazzling aura of wealth that enveloped the space. She looked down at her simple, unassuming dress and felt small among the sea of designer gowns and tailored suits. Just an employee and outsider. When the first guests arrived, they swept in like birds of paradise, a chorus of laughter and whispers trailing behind them. "Can you believe she hired a maid?" one woman snickered. Jennifer felt heat surge to her cheeks. Just when she thought she might melt into the background, the unthinkable happened. From the kitchen, a piercing alarm shattered the festive air. Flames licked the edge of a cooking station, smoke spiraled up, and panic erupted. "Help! Get everyone out!" The panic shout came from a caterer struggling to contain the fire. The shiny facade of privilege began to crack as people who had moments ago been preening in their finery now stumbled over one another in fear. In a split second, courage welled up within Jennifer. She darted through the chaos, helping elderly guests find their footing, pulling the frightened towards the exit, and guiding a mother racing for her child. Her heart pounded. Adrenaline surged through her veins. "This way! Follow me!" she yelled, her voice piercing through the tremors. As smoke thickened and shadows danced around them, she felt an undeniable sense of purpose. In that moment, Jennifer wasn't just a maid, she was a lifeline. Through the chaos, she saw the guests reassess their notions, their earlier judgment giving way to awe. Before they could catch their collective breath, the flames were contained and the noise settled into an uneasy hush. "Who is she?" A whisper crisscrossed the room, and then it happened, a revelation that sliced through the tension like a knife. A family member stepped forward, disbelief washing over their face. "Jennifer, is that you? We thought we lost you." The truth crashed into reality. They were family. Mark, the groom, was her brother. Long lost, separated due to an unfathomable misunderstanding. Tears brimmed in Jennifer's eyes as disbelief settled in her heart. The guests' shocked expressions mirrored her own throwback to a time filled with faded memories. Could forgiveness bridge the chasm carved by years of absence? Would her brother welcome her back into a world she had long watched from the sidelines? Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now, let's continue. As silence enveloped the crowd, a mix of humility and challenge danced in the atmosphere. This moment held the weight of change. Would the chasm of estrangement close? Would the community's views of her shift, recognizing her strength instead of their prejudices? Jennifer stood still, heart trembling, the next chapter of her life poised on the edge. Would love triumph over years of mistrust? Could family ties be revitalized in this unexpected awakening? The room seemed to shrink around Jennifer, each pair of eyes like hot coals, burning with curiosity, judgment, and disbelief. The whispers morphed into a buzzing hum, a cacophony that filled the air with tension. Time slowed as she stood frozen, processing the revelation that Mark, her brother, the boy she had lost, was now a man in a tuxedo, ready to marry the enigmatic bride who had unwittingly turned her world upside down. "Jennifer?" He said her name as if testing it, letting it swirl in the air. There was a cautious hope in his eyes, but it was mixed with a fear that the years of separation had done irreparable damage. "Mark," as she swallowed hard, the words caught at her throat. Memories flooded back, uninvited yet undeniable. The laughter of their childhood, the games they played, the way they promised never to drift apart. She felt a wave of emotion threaten to crash over her, but steadied herself, looking into her brother's eyes, searching for the love she hoped was still there. Is that really you? After all this time? Mark stepped closer, his entire demeanor shifting from stunned disbelief to a hesitant yearning. We searched for you, Jen. I thought you were gone. I never wanted to leave, she managed, each word heavy with pain. How could I? I thought her voice faltered. How could she explain the path she had been forced onto, the mistakes, the misunderstandings that had driven them apart? The embarrassment of their family's dwindling fortunes weighed on her like lead, making her feel small and invisible for so long. Behind them, the guests whispered among themselves, fascinated yet uncomfortable. Some stood with their mouths open, while others exchanged glances that screamed judgment. The atmosphere crackled, a mixture of intrigue and sympathy weaving a fragile thread between them and Jennifer. Can we talk? Mark motioned away from the prying eyes of the crowd, gesturing toward the garden outside. Heart pounding, she nodded. This was it. This was how things could change. As they stepped outside, the night air wrapped around her like a comforting embrace, and she felt a little of her tension ease. The moonlight illuminated the pathway, the remnants of the fire's panic lingering behind them. Jennifer, Mark began, his voice dropping into a softer confessional tone. I didn't know how to find you. We all thought you wanted nothing to do with us. His pain echoed her own. I felt abandoned. It hurt too much to stay. But that's not the truth. It was never that simple. She took a breath, grounding herself in the moment. I wish we could have talked years ago. I wish I could have been there for you. I missed you. I missed us. His eyes filled with unshed tears. You're not just a maid, Jen. You're my sister. You always were. No matter what. Tears slipped down her cheeks, but this time they were of relief. The pieces of their fractured bond began to align like stars in the sky. The guests who had once mocked her weren't the focus anymore. She now felt empowered beyond measure. But then Mark shifted, his expression changing as he glanced back toward the estate. Everyone is still inside. They need to understand. We need to tell them the truth. A chill crept down Jennifer's spine. Could she face the crowd again? Would they still see her as merely a maid? Or could she stand strong as the sister they thought lost? Are you ready for this? Mark pressed, his hand resting gently on her shoulder. We can face them together. As her heart raced, she considered the stakes. Was she ready to reclaim her identity, confront the assumptions etched into the minds of the guests? With a determined nod, Jennifer took a deep breath. Let us do it. Yet, as they turned back toward the entrance, a figure emerged from the shadows, a face she had not expected to see, one that could complicate everything. Jennifer, we need to talk. The words hung heavily in the air, thick as smoke, igniting a fresh wave of uncertainty. Jennifer's heart dropped as she turned to face the voice. It was Eleanor, Mark's fiancée, her face a mix of confusion and anger. The way Eleanor glanced between her and Mark made it clear she held a piece of the puzzle Jennifer hadn't anticipated. Eleanor, I didn't know you would come here, Mark said, his voice steady but with a hint of concern threading through. Oh, isn't this a lovely family reunion? Eleanor's tone dripped with skepticism. But really, Mark, isn't this your wedding day? Jennifer felt the weight of Eleanor's gaze, sharp and piercing, like daggers forcing their way into her certainty. She thought of the other guests lingering inside, and how they must be watching, whispering, weighing their expectations against the unfolding drama. Eleanor, this is important. I need to talk to my sister, Mark explained, stepping protectively beside Jennifer. Sister? Eleanor scoffed. Do you really expect me to believe that? You're marrying her? Who is she, really? Some maid who wandered in from the back door? Stop, Mark interjected, frustration bubbling to the surface. You don't understand. Jennifer's head spun, caught in the crossfire, and all she wanted was to escape the tension, but how could she hide? Mark's warmth provided her with a small comfort, yet Eleanor's words clawed at the remnants of her dignity. I'm not just a maid, she said, summoning her strength. I'm his sister. I've been searching for him every moment since I had to leave. Leave? Eleanor repeated, her eyes narrowing. Sounds like excuses to me. No, Mark said fiercely. You don't get to undermine this. Jennifer has been through hell, and you have no right to judge her. With each word exchanged, the distance between the three of them shrank and expanded like breathing. Jennifer felt the weight of 1,000 eyes lingering on them, more curious than supportive, and fear shot through her. They wouldn't understand. But my place, she began, her voice breaking. My place was always at home, with my family. Eleanor crossed her arms, her expression softening slightly, but still guarded. And yet here you are? Just then, a soft rustle in the bushes caught Jennifer's attention. She turned her gaze to see an older woman, gray hair pulled back in a neat bun, her eyes wide with concern as she stepped into the moonlight. It was Mrs. Jenkins, the long-serving housekeeper, a woman whom Jennifer remembered from her childhood. Miss Jennifer, Mrs. Jenkins said, her voice thick with emotion. You were always more than just a maid. You were part of this family. The sight of Mrs. Jenkins ignited warmth in Jennifer's heart, a thread to her past. You remember me? Of course. We thought you were gone forever. The old woman's eyes glistened, and Jennifer could see the collective hope in her trembling hands. Eleanor, caught off guard, stammered, and why should we believe you? Your past won't define you as a sister or as part of this wedding. Oh, but the past is a part of us, Jennifer replied, gathering courage from Mrs. Jenkins. Without it, we are lost. I'm here now and ready to confront it. Mark's gaze shifted between them, sensing the rising tension, his protective stance unyielding. Everyone deserves a chance to reclaim their story. Jen, it's your turn to speak up. Jennifer took a breath, feeling her heart beat louder. You all need to know that I'm here to fight for my place in this family. But just as she prepared to step further into the light, another voice emerged from the shadows, a haunting familiarity wrapping around her like a shroud. You've no idea what you're really up against. Jennifer, I know the truth. The revelation sent a shiver up her spine. The stakes had just been raised, and she wasn't sure she was ready for the twists lurking in the shadows. Who was this person to reveal the truth? What secret could unravel everything she had just started to stitch back together? A chill coursed through Jennifer at the sound of that familiar voice. Her breath caught in her throat as she scanned the darkness, her heart racing. Who had stepped into the light with a statement so heavy it felt like a brick dropped into a still pond? Who are you? She asked, her voice barely above a whisper, yet the words were edged with urgency. From the shadows stepped a woman clad in an elegant black dress that flowed like liquid night around her. The features were obscured by the dimness, but as the figure stepped closer, the moonlight caught her face sharp and defined. Jennifer's heart sank further. It was Claire, her former best friend, the one person she had never expected to see again. Claire. The name slipped past her lips, impossible to hold back. Yes, Jennifer, Claire replied, a faint smirk playing at the corners of her mouth. What a surprise to find you here, just when everyone believes you've fallen off the map. But I guess some stories just refuse to stay buried. Eleanor's confusion was palpable. She looked between them like a child watching a magic trick. You two know each other? What is this? Mark took a step toward Claire, anger bubbling beneath the surface. You don't belong here. This is a family matter. Is it? Claire's voice dripped with sarcasm. Because from where I stand, it looks like there's a lot more at stake than just sibling bonds. Tell me, Jennifer, she continued, turning her piercing gaze on her, do you want to know what your dear sister has been hiding from you? A hushed silence fell over the garden, tension thick in the air. Jennifer felt a bitter taste rising in her throat. Every moment spent trying to rekindle the past with Mark felt as if it was hanging by a thread, and Claire was about to sever it. Enough, Mark shouted, his voice firm, disallowing any further taunts from the woman he had once regarded as a friend. But Claire shrugged him off. Relax, Mark. You're about to witness a family secret unraveling right before your eyes. I still can't believe you've forgotten me so easily, Jennifer. Just when things got complicated in your life, I came to collect. Jennifer's mind raced. Those words wrapped around her like a vice, tightening with each second. Collect what? What could you possibly have that matters to me? Claire stepped forward so that the moonlight illuminated her fully. How about the real reason your mother sent you away? The truth hidden from us all? It's far more impactful than you can imagine. Mark's brows furrowed as he exchanged glances with Jennifer, the concern in his eyes deepening. Don't listen to her, Jen. This is just manipulation. But Eleanor was watching closely, intrigued. What does she mean? What truth? The rush of voices clashed with the rustle of leaves. And at that moment, Mrs. Jenkins stepped forward hesitantly, her expression a mix of dread and sympathy. You don't have to hear anymore. Dear Jennifer felt heat rise to her cheeks. What do you know? It's not about what I know, Claire interjected, her challenging tone cutting through the air. It's about revealing the truth that can destroy everything. Maybe you should start thinking about who your real family is. In that moment, everything Jennifer believed was at risk of unraveling. The walls that had taken so long to build were shaking. Don't you dare, she snapped, feeling the conflict push her back against her own past. She looked at Mark, who wore an expression cloaked in worry. The truth felt so close, yet so terrifyingly out of reach. As the weight of Claire's presence threatened to draw her into darkness, Jennifer was torn. Would she confront her past or run from it again? Suddenly, from behind Claire, another figure emerged, someone she never expected to see, ready to reveal hidden layers of this convoluted struggle. Jennifer, wait, you don't understand. They're here for more than just you. And just like that, the delicate balance shifted yet again. Or were they really here to protect or destroy? Jennifer's heart pounded in her chest, drowning out the distant sounds of the party. She turned slowly, her breath caught in her throat as she tried to make sense of the looming figure behind Claire. Who could it be, stepping forth from the shadows like an unwelcome specter? The figure moved into the moonlight, and recognition washed over her like icy water. It was Olivia, the very woman who had once turned Jennifer's world upside down with her lies. The shock echoed within her, but further bitterness laced the realization that Olivia was tied to Claire in some unholy alliance. Olivia, Jennifer breathed, unable to disguise the incredulity in her voice. What are you doing here? The corner of Olivia's mouth twisted into a smug smile, as if she relished this moment, the chaos, the uncertainty. Oh, dear Jennifer, she cooed, her tone dripping with mockery. We've all been asking that very question for a long time, haven't we? But let us not focus on the past when there's so much more to consider right now. Claire stepped aside, allowing Olivia to take the stage. She's right, Claire interjected, raising her hands theatrically, because today is not just about you and your precious family ties, but about a brand new revelation. Jennifer squared her shoulders, struggling against the rising tide of fear. Revelation? What on earth are you talking about? The air around them grew tighter, an unnatural heaviness pressing down like a storm brewing on the horizon. Mark's protective stance remained, but she could see the uncertainty flickering in his eyes as Olivia's dark words lingered in the air like smoke from a dying fire. Do you really think your father's mistakes died with him? Or that your mother's carefully crafted lies are as tight and wear-proof as the facade she wore for years? Olivia challenged, her eyes glinting in the dim light. Oh, sweet Jennifer, the truth is simply biding its time, waiting for the right moment to surface. Eleanor looked to Mark, her brow furrowed with concern. What does she mean? What mistakes? Don't let them drag you down, Mark urged, desperation creeping into his voice as he tightened his grip on Jennifer's arm. You don't have to listen. This is just manipulation. But Claire and Olivia shared a glance that spoke volumes, the kind of conspiratorial bond that sent Jennifer's stomach churning. The words were forming a noose around her neck, and with every beat of her heart, she felt time slipping away. Family isn't merely blood, Jennifer, Claire said softly, cutting through the tension. You'll have to decide who you want to trust. Trust? It was a mere whisper, but it rattled through the garden like a sudden gust of wind. Trust is earned, not just given, Claire. Funny you say that, Olivia interjected, because trust can also be broken. In an instant, everything erupted around her. Jennifer felt the push of unyielding ghosts and half-forgotten sins creeping to the surface. What do you want from me? Simple, Claire replied, stepping closer, her voice lowering. You need to find out who you are first before you can distinguish truth from deception. Just then, another chill gripped the air, sending a shiver down Jennifer's spine. Voices surged and elongated, drawing attention with each passing second. The unexpected arrival of next figures could shift the balance once more. Get ready, Jennifer, Claire whispered, because they're not leaving until you know the whole truth. Instinctively, Jennifer's breath quickened. The realization that this battle was only just beginning dawned on her. They were challenging the very essence of her existence. What else did they know? As the crowd grew tense, faces suddenly full of scrutiny, Jennifer's heart raced. What truth? She cried out, desperation surging through her. Would she be able to face whatever awaited her? Or were they ready to uncover secrets that might shatter her life forever? The world around Jennifer blurred for a moment, the bright lights of the party and the anticipatory crowd fading into the background. Her small circle, Mark, Eleanor, and the menacing figure of Olivia would soon be eclipsed by a greater storm. She needed to act, but fear and confusion made every step feel monumental, like wading through thick mud. Jennifer, Mark's voice cut through her haze. He was looking at her, his eyes urging her to break free from the stranglehold of tension. We can leave. Not worth it. But the moment was tense, electric. She wasn't sure if she wanted to retreat anymore. What was waiting beyond this point? Maybe answers. Desperate, maddening truths. Olivia stepped forward, the shadows dancing at her heels. Leave? Oh, but this is just the beginning. The crowd stirred, whispers spreading like ripples in a pond. Jennifer could see faces lighting up with curiosity and hunger, as if they were awaiting a dramatic revelation, something to gossip about. What do you mean? She demanded, her voice steadier than she felt. What do you want? With a calculated glint in her eye, Olivia leaned in, the space between them crackling with tension. It's not just about your father's secrets, dear. You're missing the bigger picture. You're lying. Jennifer felt the heat of anger burning through her chest. How could Olivia twist everything? No, dude. I'm telling you the very truth your mother tried to keep from you, tried to keep from all of us. Olivia stepped back, surveying the crowd. I wonder how many of your dear friends here know who you really are enough. Jennifer exclaimed, cutting through the chaos. She wanted to scream, but the words clawed up her throat, fighting for release. You don't get to play with my life. Not like this. And yet, deep down, a flicker of doubt sprouted. What if Olivia was telling the truth? Her mother had always wrapped their family secrets in layers, like a protective mask. The truth felt like a knife that could cut through the very fabric of her identity. Jennifer, Claire interjected, her voice soft, purposeful. It's time to uncover your truth, and you must decide who you want to become. At that moment, another figure stepped from the crowd, tall and commanding. Gasps echoed through the garden. Jennifer squinted into the light, and the face became clearer. It was her mother. Mom? Jennifer's heart leaped at the sight. The shock was palpable as her mother's polished facade melted into something more authentic, something that showcased genuine fear and regret. Jennifer, listen to me. You need to, her mother began, but voices drowned her out, the tension fracturing like glass. We don't have time for this. Olivia sneered. Let us reveal the truth. I think it's time everyone knows exactly who you are, Jennifer. The whispers grew louder, forming a cacophony of speculation and disbelief. All eyes were on her, waiting to see how she would respond. The urge to shrink beneath their gazes gripped her, but something stronger pushed against it. Jennifer took a deep breath, summoning every ounce of courage she could muster. I'm not who you think I am, but I'll find out the truth, even if it cracks everything wide open. More than ever, she felt the weight of every decision before her, the past, the lies, and those who threatened to reveal everything. The crowd's murmurs faded into the background as she turned towards her mother, her heart hammering wildly. "Mom, what is going on? What do you know?" In that heartbeat, the tension shifted. The future danced on the edge of revelation, leaving Jennifer teetering between the familiar and the unknown. What hidden truths lay just beneath the surface, waiting for her to finally dive in? But would she be ready to face whatever came next? Jennifer's gaze locked onto her mother, searching for answers in her eyes. "What is it? What do you know about me?" There was urgency in her voice, a raw need for clarity that cut through the noise of the party. All around her, the crowd held their breath, the tension building like a kettle on the edge of boiling. Her mother's face paled. "Jennifer, you have to understand what? That I'm more than I thought? Or that I'm just a pawn in someone else's game?" The bitterness dripped from her words. She could see the confusion and concern etched in her mother's face. But anger was an easier emotion to grasp. "You've hidden things from me. I deserve to know why. Please, just listen," her mother pleaded. "Years ago, I made decisions to protect you. Some truths are dangerous. Especially now." Jennifer's breath quickened. Was Olivia right? Were there truths hidden so deep they could unravel everything? Every heartbeat felt like a countdown to catastrophe, and she couldn't afford to waste another second. "Dangerous," Jennifer echoed, tasting the word. It sent a chill through her. "You mean dangerous to you or to me?" "Both," her mother almost shouted, desperation leaking from her voice. "This is a world you're barely aware of. It's not just about family secrets. It's about people who would do anything to keep that knowledge under wraps, people who would hurt you to silence it." But was fear enough to override curiosity? Jennifer glanced towards Olivia, who was watching the exchange like a cat toying with its prey. "And Olivia? What's her role in this? Are you saying she knows too?" Olivia, her mother's eyes flickered with uncertainty. "She's not what she seems. There are ties between our families. Old ties. She has her own agenda." The crowd buzzed, each spectator silently calculating their role in the unfolding drama. Mark stepped closer, his protective stance anchoring Jennifer to the moment. "We can leave. Just say the word," he urged, his eyes darting between Jennifer and Olivia. But Jennifer had no intention of running. The weight of her truth pressed down on her like a lead blanket, but somewhere in that oppressive darkness, a spark ignited. "Maybe I was wrong to think uncovering the truth would be easy," she said quietly, more to herself than anyone else. "It's time to confront whatever is out there, whatever you've hidden from me." "Jennifer, don't push your luck," Olivia interrupted with a cold smile, stepping into the light. "Do you really want to unravel that sweater? You might not like what unravels." Jennifer steadied herself, determination coursing through her veins. "Then let us see what happens, shall we?" Her throat felt thick with unspoken fears, but she swallowed hard, staring Olivia down. "Besides, I have nothing left to lose," she added, the strength of her voice surprising even herself. The air hung heavy. The choice was clear: embrace the unknown or turn back to a life of comfortable ignorance. But how much would it cost her? A shiver ran down her spine as finality blinked in the depths of her choices. "Mom, please," she urged, looking back at her mother. "Tell me everything. I want to hear it all." And then a thunderclap of realization hit her as the crowd shifted, unaware of the true revelation waiting to unfold. What if everything she had known was only the tip of a vast, dark secret? Jennifer, her mother, started, her voice trembling. "Are you sure you're ready to hear it? Because the truth might shatter everything you've built." Hope twisted with dread in her chest. "I'm ready," she forced out, conviction fueling her. In that decisive moment, the room felt charged, pulsing with potential. The shimmering lights and eager whispers faded into the backdrop of a larger truth, one she was finally ready to face. But as she braced herself for the storm to come, another question nagged at her. Would she find strength, or would this plunge into the unknown lead to ruin? And as she took that inevitable step forward, the crowd swelled with an eerie anticipation, ready to witness the chaos that could change everything. What truths lay beneath the surface? waiting to swallow her whole? Her heart raced, mingling with the thrumming bass of the music still pulsing through the venue. Jennifer could almost hear her own heartbeat drowning beneath the whispering crowd, each word of uncertainty ricocheting in her mind. Jennifer, her mother said, shifting closer, her voice muffled yet urgent. This isn't just family business. The risks are real. People have died over this. Anger flared inside Jennifer like a wildfire, consuming her fear. Then why didn't you tell me sooner? You've made me a prisoner of your choices. The weight of years spent in ignorance pressed heavily on her, birthing a potent mix of sorrow and rage. I was trying to protect you, her mother pleaded, desperation lining her voice, her eyes shimmering with unshed tears. I never wanted your life to be ruled by fear. Fear? So what now? I should just hide away? Jennifer shot back, her hands clenching into fists at her sides. I want the truth. It's my life. I deserve to know what's out there. It was as if the room had tilted, the laughter and chatter fading into a dull roar as her declaration hung in the air. A full moment passed, the tension so thick it was palpable. Olivia stepped forward, a smirk flaring across her lips. But, Jennifer, what happens when that truth isn't pretty? What if you're not who you thought you were? She leaned in, her voice a murmur that resonated with an eerie familiarity. Maybe your family isn't as normal as they seem. As Jennifer's stomach twisted, she could see the crowd shifting, their expressions a mix of shock and excitement. Jennifer met Mark's gaze, searching for reassurance. Despite everything, his expression was tense, as if he was bracing for the worst. Do you believe her? Jennifer whispered, urgency pushing against her chest. What if Olivia is right? Mark shook his head slightly, grounding her. You're strong, Jen. Whatever the truth is, you can handle it. I believe in you. Gathering a shuddering breath, she turned back to her mother. What aren't you telling me? Her mother's eyes darted away, a flicker of doubt crossing her features. There's a connection you need to understand, she finally said, her voice low, almost afraid. Years ago, you were part of a deal, a pact, made to protect you. It ties you to a lineage that's not just ours. It goes back generations. Stop. Jennifer interrupted, feeling her legs shake beneath her. Every second you take feels like a countdown. Are you really going to make me dig for the truth? I'm trying to help you, Jenny, her mother implored, the sadness in her voice evident. Please, it won't be easy. I don't care if it's easy or not. Jennifer could feel herself losing control. Just tell me. If I have to deal with whatever this is, I want to know now. A hush enveloped the room as her mother clasped her hands together tightly, steeling herself. We're tied to them, Jennifer, to a powerful family in this city. You might be the heir to a legacy that could change everything. The crowd whispered, an electric buzz of intrigue and speculation sweeping through it. Shocked faces turned toward Jennifer, their expressions a mixture of awe and fear. What do you mean? Heir to what? Jennifer's voice trembled, half of her wanting to pull back as the pieces began to fall into place. The air grew thick with anticipation. But deep down, an urgent question clawed at her mind. How much would she lose by uncovering the truth? And with her heart balancing between dread and newfound hope, she felt the ground shift beneath her. The moment of revelation was reaching its crescendo. How many secrets would come tumbling out as she stood on the brink of discovering who she truly was? Would she ever be able to forgive her mother for the truths withheld? Or was she about to lose everything she believed in? The whispers wrapped around Jennifer like a cold fog, chilling her resolve. Suddenly, all eyes were on her, a storm of anxiety brewing in the pit of her stomach. The sleek black walls of the venue almost felt too close, closing in as her mother stood before her, fingers trembling against clasped hands. Jennifer, her mother's voice quivered, barely piercing the anxious silence. You may not be ready for this, but you need to understand I can't hide anymore, Mom. I want tea. Jennifer shot back, her voice rising, passion erupting as the pulse of the crowd thrummed like a heartbeat. Mark's hand found hers, grounding her amidst the chaos. "Just breathe," he whispered, his gaze steady. "You're not alone in this." But there was no comfort in this moment. Jennifer could feel the weight of expectations pressing down on her, as if the very air was made of heavy stones. A powerful family? What does that even mean? Her mother took a deep breath, her eyes shimmering like glass, on the verge of breaking. "It means there are threats, dangers, forces that will try to control you. They've been watching you your entire life. If they discover what you are, what you can become, they won't stop until they have that power for themselves." Fear spread through Jennifer, icy and sharp. All her life, she had craved answers, yearned to be seen, but this felt like a shadow threatening to swallow her whole. She glanced around, noticing familiar faces now twisted in curiosity, and dread washed over her. What had Olivia meant about her not being who she thought she was? A knot tightened in her gut. In her mind's eye, Jennifer envisioned her friends, her straightforward life, the music, her college, the dreams that had once seemed so normal. Now, they all felt tainted by this chilling revelation. "What do I do?" she breathed, desperation clawing at her. "You need to accept your heritage," her mother insisted, her voice thick with emotion. "You have a responsibility to all of us, and to those who came before you. This isn't just about you." Jennifer's mind raced. Thoughts flitted like terrified birds, crashing against the walls of her reality. Who was she now? A reluctant heir to a secret legacy wrapped in unyielding fear? What is the legacy? The inquiry tore from her lips, sparking interest from the crowd that shifted closer, their expressions a blend of shock and excitement. "The Nightshade family," her mother replied, the name hanging like a ghost in the air, haunting and oppressive. "They wield influence over this city, over lives, and once there was a pact, and you were meant to inherit that power. To lead and to protect." "Protect?" Jennifer repeated, confusion twisting the words in her mouth. "From what?" "From those who wish to destroy it." Sorrow echoed in her mother's eyes. "What I wanted to protect you from is now your reality." At that moment, the throbbing bass of the music felt worlds away, a distraction lost in the trembling depths of truth. Jennifer turned to Mark, a plea caught in her throat. "What do I do? Can I even trust my own family?" He stepped closer, bravely breathing life back into her with a fierce whisper. "You have to trust in yourself. You're stronger than you think. This is your life, and you deserve to take control." The crowd's murmurs intensified, emotions swirling in an unpredictable tide. She caught Olivia's gaze, that smirk still dancing on her lips, and something ignited inside Jennifer, a flicker of rebellion. Just then, a crash echoed from the entrance, quick footsteps breaking through the tension. All heads turned sharply to see a figure bursting into the room, eyes burning with urgency. "Jennifer, you need to come with me. Now." The words sent a shiver racing down her spine. Who was this unexpected visitor, and what new danger awaited her as the night unraveled around her? The figure stepped closer, revealing itself amid the confusion. It was a man, tall and imposing, his presence commanding attention. Jennifer squinted, dissecting the familiar shape cloaked in shadow. His face emerged into the light, and her breath hitched. It was Daniel, the boy from her past, the one whose family had been entangled with hers long before she was ever born. "Daniel?" She gasped. "What are you doing here?" "Jennifer, there's no time to explain," he urged, urgency propelling his words. "You need to leave now. They're coming for you." The crowd buzzed with shock, and whispers morphed into heightened panic as everyone's attention centered on the unexpected arrival. "Coming for me?" Jennifer echoed, fear edging her voice. "Who is coming?" "People linked to the Nightshade legacy, those who want to silence the truths your mother has buried." He glanced nervously behind him, the air crackling with tension. "You're in danger. We have to move." Mark stepped forward, his protective instincts flaring. "What do you know about this?" he demanded, anger simmering beneath the surface. "You're just a player in this game." "No, Mark." Daniel took a breath, steadying himself. "I'm here to help Jennifer. I've seen the threats. I know you don't trust me, but we can't waste time arguing. Jennifer glanced around, her mind racing. The weight of expectation bore down on her from every corner of the garden. It felt like the walls were closing in, her reality shifting into a realm where her past collided with consequences she couldn't even fathom. Do you really think I should go with you? She asked, searching for support. What if this is just another trap? Daniel locked eyes with her, the sincerity radiating off of him like a beacon. No trap. I promise. I've been on the outskirts, and I've watched everything unfold. I can help you uncover the truth and keep you safe. She hesitated for a moment, her heart pounding like a war drum. This was the moment she had been waiting for a chance to break free from the chains that held her back. But Daniel's urgency electrified the air. Mom, what do I do? Jennifer faced her mother, who appeared visibly shaken. You have to trust your instincts. If you think Daniel can help you find the answers, then go, her mother urged, pain lacing her voice. This is about you now. With a deep breath, Jennifer nodded. In that final instance, clarity washed over her. She couldn't stay trapped in the past, caged by secrets. She needed to forge her own path, even if it meant stepping into the dangerous unknown. Let us go, she said, her voice steady despite the tremors of fear. As Mark opened his mouth, likely to protest, Jennifer took Daniel's hand and turned away from the crowd, drawing strength from the raw determination surging within her. They moved swiftly, slipping away from the tensions that crackled in the garden, away from the unfamiliar eyes watching her every step. Behind her, the whispers grew fainter as they sped toward the exit, but not before she glimpsed one final expression from her mother. Love mixed with letting go, a bittersweet farewell wrapped in hope. The night air enveloped them as they stepped outside. Freedom washed over Jennifer, but danger hovered close behind. Where are we going? She asked, a rush of adrenaline urging her feet forward. To uncover the truth and discover the real you. The real power you hold, Daniel replied, urgency coursing through his words. Their journey continued down a dimly lit street, one where answers loomed with urgency instead of certainty. Jennifer felt the pull of the past still hovering in the distance, but now a new path lay ahead, one centered in strength, courage, and unyielding connections to build anew. As they hurried away, a realization settled upon her. She was no longer an outsider or a maid. She was Jennifer, the daughter of a legacy, a sister to a family she would reclaim. And as the moonlight shone bright, she felt the first flickers of destiny banding together to write a story all her own. Would the darkness of the past cast shadows over her future, or could she stand in her own light as the person she truly was meant to be? So, let us close this incredible journey. It's your turn to step forward. Hit that subscribe button immediately so you don't miss another exclusive story. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm and show your support for the content. We need you to comment below with your reactions and feelings about this thrilling ending. And remember, share this video with at least 5 friends who are craving transformation and empowerment in their lives. This is the moment to connect and spread the word. Don't wait, not even one more second. Your support is everything.